How you doing?
Come to find out, yeah, I'm the man. How y'all doing this morning? Mhm. Y'all,
Well, you were just going with it, not letting me really, have a chance to cut in there. So, we got PC Race Shop, Omni, and Omnic AI. No, hold on.
holy shit, guys! It's gonna be a long 90 minutes.
Nah,
32 minutes on sponsors. What the fuck?
no, he already said a couple, and we got sponsors, which are PC Race Shop and the VFW Foundation, and then we got partners, which are Omnic AI, Streamlabs, Helium, Alexander PCs, Ranger Up Coffee, G Fuel, uh, Cootie Coffee.
Cootie Coffee.
Yeah, it's really good.
Any connection to Cootie Shadow? You got your own coffee, or just a wild coincidence?
Yep.
Explain to the listeners, Cootie. That's what I'm like. Yeah, all right. That's why I was like, oh, that's what I want to be drinking.
Pretty good. Went and bought yet another kayak. No, it's because apparently that water gets cold after a while, and I'm tired of soaking my seat down when I go home. So I got one I could sit in, and my butt wouldn't get wet. Yeah.
So wait a minute. First off, where are you living at?
Georgia.
All right, that makes a little more sense. I'm like, who's kayaking? Like, I mean, I guess it is now almost. It's April now, which we're just rocketing through 2026. But how many
season,
kayaks?
baby.
How many kayaks does one have? Are you fishing out of a kayak?
I have 2 kayaks and 1 canoe.
Oh, I was kidding. So you are fishing out of a kayak.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair.
Well, I'll do it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I like seeing all the creatures. See a lot of turtles. I'm expecting to see a gator before the season's out, but seen a lot of them. Geese, herrings. Seen a few snakes. Yeah, I want to whack them with my paddle. That's why you bring a 22.
That's a different kind of trip.
Not if you spray it down with WD-40.
Do not spray. Okay. I'm guessing the lube, like what does that do?
It'll cause a flash.
Oh, it's like the residue, the actual explosion from pushing the bullet will catch the residue on the round. I'm guessing.
Pretty much. Yeah, it'll catch your barrel and stuff on fire if you leave it on there.
That's fun.
It's very flammable. It's just a coating and not a penetrant. You can wipe away CLP and it only leaves a light coating. So when the first round goes through, it actually kind of takes it away. But with WD-40, it goes in and has little pockets, like you have crevices. No matter what type of metal structure you got, there's going to be a crevice oil can get into. And that what's left behind will ignite or can ignite, causing a blowback in your face.
Got it. Okay.
As much as I could, yeah. It started raining really bad, and so up until I heard thunder, I was out there. My understanding is it only tingles for a bit. How's your son doing on that?
What kind of track? Betting on the ponies, huh? Well, I was gonna say,
Wait. Let me smack this up for him, okay?
He's fucking redneck.
What
Hey,
he-
quarter, y'all in the redneck.
Yeah, you get two inbred horses and they mate, and it creates this little tiny midget, and that's what he rides upon. That sounds possible, doesn't it? That might have been too offensive, so I didn't go that route. He's just riding around on midgets out there. A midget.
Well, I had a feeling it wasn't. Then you said NASCAR, and I'm like, all right, it's some sort of something that it makes it. But nope. Yep, got it. 7 to 16. 7. That's getting them early. Shit, getting to play soccer at 7 is a fucking challenge. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. They can barely say their own name and you got them racing fucking cars. Holy shit, that's crazy. That I want to see that. I want to see a 4-year-old fucking driving a NASCAR, like one of those funny cars. That you got to send me a goddamn link. I want to see a 4-year-old gets out and I want juicy. It's like turn 3 is really messing me up, Dad. I gotta see. Holy shit. Resources. VFW.
Why are you filming that dude's butt?
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation.
Here's a serious question. If his
What-
butt was in it, are you sure you weren't filming it for the butt? Was he hot?
Everybody's got, hey, it's okay. It's 2026. You're allowed to like what you like, if you want to be a Zim it's okay. You come out and tell everybody and just be proud. I'm in Los Angeles.
He's
baby.
over there saying he's
Yeah.
filming butts and stuff. So I'm just asking the questions that the audience probably will want to know.
All right, where am I going? Where am I going here? Great. CT Lounge, join the VFW. I'm not seeing it here. All right. Shut the fuck up. Yes, I'm here. I'm not seeing it. External events, Alconis, tickets, community live, CT Lounge, meditation and music, veteran resources and benefits. Nope. Don't got it. I must not have the. That's all right. I believe you. It's just. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. How much are you able to bore those out? Well, I understand that, but I know there's a tolerance of a plus or minus of so much of a decimal before before the wall gets too thin and then it just flares out. Because like boom 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 too big for a wall.
Oh, that's not right. Look, they're trying. They're trying to take the weight off. This is going to be the year, guys.
They got it.
It's like you got some 300-pound 12-year-old. Like, yeah, they're the heavy kids, you know. Jesus Christ. You guys done this before?
Well, I know he sees your mouth moving, so I just put out there. He's just real quiet.
Look, how's that, dude?
To be fair,
now
yeah, to
you
be
can-
fair, there's a new Discord's got a new
Yeah.
update every 6 days, so I get you. It's like, oh, this just it
Right.
worked all my
Like that.
settings.
So my
Fantastic.
audio's not even going through that. It's
Fucking
something
ridiculous.
totally something different, man. It's crazy. Here, y'all say something real quick.
Booger.
That works. All right.
Sugar.
Bringing it up
You
just a
got
little
me.
bit.
Oh,
There we
okay,
go.
there we go.
Yeah. Perfect. There we go. Now we're like cooking with bacon grease. I do apologize about that. Holy jazz! I really appreciate this, dude. I've been having problems. We're working on it. We're working on it. I know that I'm quiet, but I also turn them down, so therefore we should be on even kill. Quiet. Yeah. Anyways, golly, I really appreciate that, dude. We got it square now.
He's just speaking softly.
So quarter midget racing. There was like so much quiet there every time I talk, right? Oh my goodness, we were talking about quarter midget racing and what my son did this weekend and all that great stuff. Our quarter midgets.
That he got on.
Yeah.
What is that?
There was a
Vern?
huge event. 208 cars that came down to. 208 plus cars came down from all over the country. I think the furthest that we saw was Colorado, but there were competitors that came all the way from Maine. Shared a video and a picture. The pictures of probably the worst crash that has happened in the past 10 years in quarter midget racing at NCQM.
That makes a lot more sense as far as the photos and videos thing, where they're just like, hey, you know, this is a dangerous sport. Things could go wrong. We don't need this showing up on the, you know, on the Instagram with the, you know, getting a million hits of some 10-year-old getting decapitated.
Well, it's not like
Oh, it wasn't like that.
It's not like that. No, and but it's
All right, I don't know what. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to be a part of this conversation.
Yeah, I know.
Is it the one I saw shut up?
Gaming, right? Gaming, right? The
Yeah,
indoor
yeah.
kids over here, like, I don't know. Fuck here. Tell me what you got.
Is this iRacing?
Is it-
No.
Is it the wall one?
No, actually. So this guy T-boned somebody. It's 2 7-year-olds T-boning each other in 265-pound cars. And the one who hit the damn car ended up punting his ass like 6 feet. And it literally totaled the car. The kid pushed his steering wheel in and like bent a 7-year-old bent a steering wheel to a quarter midget, a racing one that costs over $200. Bent it in, and it was just insane. Anyways, it was the video of the butt, right? Yeah, I'm not even going to re-explain that. You guys can just love that.
So they're now putting roids in racing. I see.
No, dude.
Yeah, bending steering wheels.
Four people, 4 grown-ass men were trying to push this car off. One person picks it up, and everybody else is just pushing. It has that much torque on these engines. And we were talking about how they have to be rebuilt, the engines are possible tolerances. And actually, what's crazy about that is the tolerances for those engines, it runs methanol, and they have to be rebuilt every five races.
That's because your seals keep eating up.
Probably. I mean, they're running methanol. It's insane. I mean,
yeah, that's the methanol itself is abrasive.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I can't wait for you to get access Shanghai so you can see all the great stuff that's going on. With that, what did you get into this past weekend there, Mr. Shanghai?
Yeah.
Boy, what did I get into this weekend? I can't believe it's Monday already. I've been having trouble streaming lately. I just haven't been motivated to get on stream. And I finally was like, hey, I reached out to the community. I'm like, hey, I need a new game. I need something to do. I'm not feeling it. I do a lot of, not cozy games, but I do a lot of like survival builders, like, Ark and stuff like that, where it's just hit tree with rock games. They're not really like high threat. They're not sweaty. So I was just like, I need something to play. And people have been talking about Marathon, and I'm not much of a shooter guy. I'm pretty bad when it comes to that stuff. So I was like, all right. Somebody mentioned that. I'm like, we're working with Bungie at Stack Up. And so it was like, all right, I'll give it a try. And man, whew, those boys at Bungie know how to make a shooter. I mean, surprise, Halo and Destiny, but golly, some good stuff. So it feels good to be getting into it again and getting into combat. And, I enjoyed Arc Raiders, but there's something about Arc Raiders where you have to have that conversation about, when you're in game, hey, are you friendly? You're trying to play nice with other people sometimes, like, hey, we're going to do a dance party in the center of the, that Marathon does not have any. It's like if there's a human player out there, they're trying to kill you. And this is like, okay, got it. It's extraction shooter, but there's a little less of the, politics and conversation, more of the just kill on sight kind of stuff. And it takes a lot of the, not stress out where you're like, is this person going to betray me? Do I have to worry about that? It's like, no, you just go in and kill everybody. And if it's another human being, they're going to try to kill you. It keeps it pretty simple. So yeah, it was fun. It's an enjoyable, they put together a pretty good product. So I had a good time doing that, but that was my weekend of streaming.
Nice.
Sorry, no NASCAR events or fishing over here. I'm an indoor kid.
Hey, and there's literally nothing wrong with that. I was gonna say, when we were kind of talking earlier, and I was like, hey, actually, we can talk about that. I think it's super awesome. My brother-in-law actually developed 68 of the 72 playable characters at the very beginning of the game. As far as the artwork, graphics design.
Oh, he works at Bungie as an artist.
Yeah.
Ah, very nice. How long has he been doing that for?
A few years. He's basically been on Marathon the whole time.
No shit. Wow, that's impressive. And he did a good job.
Yeah.
I know there was that whole art kerfuffle. It kind of was like when that happened, I was like on top of Arc Raiders coming out and taking all the oxygen out of the room. The art thing where they were like, I forget, they had some sort of artist that they lifted the art from, and they were like, did not give them credit for. So it was very much like that. This game's going to die the second it comes out. And so the fact it's sitting at like 30K concurrence, it's like, oh, okay, you guys, it's alive and it's doing its thing. So
I was worried
exciting,
about it.
It's like, okay.
I was worried.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because nobody was talking about it. But I tell you what, talking about shooters, this past year, holy crap, right? Every year Call of Duty comes out with a new game. It was clear. It wasn't a winner.
Right. Yeah, I
That
heard nobody talking about it.
Battlefield came in and took the lead with Battlefield 6, right?
Yeah,
And
if you can
then
believe it.
it was like a month later when the season was releasing, Arc Raiders comes out, and then like that's all people are talking about.
Yeah,
Nobody
and
was
for good
even
reason. They
talking
did a
about.
hell of a job.
Oh yeah, and it was a decent price, $40. Every other game, 70.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yep.
Yeah, easy. But
Yeah,
I think
Borderlands 4, $70. Love the Borderlands folks. They're helping us out, but that was like one of these. That's a. I'm so accustomed to everything being in that $20 to $40 range now that anytime it's like anytime I see like, what was it? The new Resident Evil was 70, and I was like, really? Okay.
Yeah. Oof.
What are we doing here, guys?
that's hurting a pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is crazy because, I mean, the conversation about prices skyrocketing, like for development costs, hundreds of millions of dollars, and then PR and marketing and biz dev and all that stuff, and the amount of money it takes to push a game out now. It's like the price should be going up. I understand that, but also it still doesn't, with the rest of the world, especially, everything else is, the economy's in the toilet and everything's kind of on fire. It's like, yeah, another $10 for a video game should not be that big of like of course everything's going up. But yeah, we've had a good run. Let's say that.
Well, I mean, like you look at the Call of Duties. I mean, I played Call of Duty back in 2008, I believe it was, when Modern Warfare 4 or whatever it was, Call of Duty Modern Warfare
The
came
original.
out.
Yeah, there you go.
Like 2008, 2009. Like, dude, I was playing it back then. And then Modern Warfare 2 came out 2009, 2010 because I was in Iraq when it was there. And we were playing that in our chews. We had the LAN cables going from chew to chew. And we had a LAN party playing Modern Warfare 2 in Iraq. So that was dope. Sorry for you guys that deployed before, but
what was that?
I said sorry for you guys that deployed before and didn't have all that cool stuff.
No, we did not. No, we still had our own. I mean, that was part of how Stack Up started in the first place, where it was very much like, hey, there's a bunch of guys and gals who are deployed forward. And the first supply crate that I ever sent out was, a guy who I went to Iraq with, and they were like, hey, the unit that came in after, who left before us, like, rat fucked the MWR facility.
Wow.
And left them nothing. And it was like one of those, like, oh, cool. Yeah. Take all the TVs and everything out. That's really cool. Why would you do that? What are we doing, guys?
That is insane.
It's pretty shitty.
So what branch were you in?
I was in the Army.
Army. Way to go. Best branch.
Who,
Go Army. Big
8 years
Navy.
Army. Started 4 years infantry and then 4 years intel.
35 Fox.
So what was it? Echo. I was Echo. So the Humanter. Now, Lord knows what it is nowadays because they changed everything up because some colonel wanted to make general, so he changed everything to be different and be cool or whatever the hell their thought process was. But
So I love to freak people out and go, yo, I had to have a security clearance, and I graduated AIT with the MOS. I was MOSQ 35 Foxtrot. But when I got in my first unit, I was a 94 Foxtrot because I was in that was in when they flipped the MOSs. All the 63 Bravos went to 91 Bravos. And basically all 90 series is maintenance ordnance.
yeah, that's what I thought. Truck drivers and all that. Or wait, that's 88.
92 Alpha right here, baby.
That's supply. That's quartermaster.
That's supply. Yeah, I was going to say, I know that one.
So,
Yep.
but as far as like, and I think it was to get like them in line with like your 91 series is like your vehicle maintenance, 92's supply. I don't know if there's a 93. 94 is all of your high level electronics, TMDE, which is test measurement. I don't know what the D is, but it's basically if you have like a caliper or a weight or a gauge. Like it has
Calibrations.
To be, yes, exactly. That's what it is. You're sending shit off to get calibrated, and then it's verified. Yes, this weight weighs 100 grams. It was verified by Private Jimmy John over here in freaking TMDE. He verified that yes, this does indeed weigh 100 grams. Like what?
You need to go to special training for that, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yes,
like
you do.
9 months of AIT. Like woohoo! No, actually, my AIT was a year long. First year in the Army, I had a drill sergeant.
Year.
First year in the Army, I had a drill sergeant. My AIT was at Fort Gordon, 35 Fox, 94
Yeah,
series,
all right. Intel, I could, I understand something. You go to Monterey to learn a language or something like that. That should be 9 months. But fucking what?
Dude, we learned
How
to
to
fix
measure things?
everything.
I guess.
Not really.
Ah,
We only learned metal detectors. We'll call it that. Well, those are mine detectors, but metal detectors, chemical detection equipment, NVGs. We spent a lot on NVGs, computer repair and networking and all that stuff, but like more so A+. And then what was the other thing that we had? Mine dispensing systems and your basic solder.
The Army mine dispensers, the thing that we use all the time.
We did. Hopefully.
Did we?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, back in the invasion. Hell yeah. Back in Desert Storm, Desert Shield. Hell yeah. They were any time that we have put a mine on a battlefield in the past 20 years, we've used some kind of conventional mine system where a landmine will explode after so long. So like it will actually like self-detonate after 23 hours or whatever it is. Whatever the cutoff is where, all right, now we're not, setting booby traps.
Right. We don't want a Cambodia situation where guys are still going over today and demining the fucking countryside.
Yeah, like
they should leave it there for like 6 months or something. Like if you're going to go in 24 hours, like what are we even doing? Like give it a little bit of time.
Yeah, well, you hear about the stories of the people who were in Vietnam, and
that's
when
what
they
I'm
were
saying.
setting up the
claymores,
they would go up and set claymores and then tear them down just to set them right back up like 5 minutes later, because if they didn't, they were setting booby traps, and like that's against
for fuck's
the Geneva
sakes.
Convention. Like what? I mean, we've all been in that term. If you've earned your eligibility in VFW, we've all been in that term where you feel like, really, Congressman, like how the hell are you making rules for me? And you're behind a desk, but you're the one that decides how I get to defend myself.
There is a good middle of the road between what Israel did to Palestine and then like you lose the public perception of the war because then you become the bad guys. And so it's like, I get it, but also the other side of that coin is doing shit like, yeah, we're putting mine in and then 24 hours later it detonates. It's like, okay, then we got to do it again tomorrow. Or like, yeah, putting a claymore in place and then like, oh, we can't have that in place. And, we take it back down 5 minutes later. It's like,
nobody said anything to Israel about them packing C4 in fucking beepers. And
yeah, no, of course not. That's one of those things. Like
that's a booby trap.
You heard that happen, right? You heard that, and everybody was like, "Those clever bastards. That's pretty good." Nobody was like, "That's inhumane." I can't believe they would do it. Like, that's pretty fucking. Those sons of
here's some fucked up shit though. What's better, jail time or dead time?
Oh, sure, yeah. Rather, it's still rather to be carried. What is it? Tried by 12 than carried by 6 is the joke. It was like,
correct.
Hey, I would. Yeah, so I get it.
It's got to be able to be applied. It's got to be able to be applied.
Yeah, there should be a middle of the road somewhere in there, but of course, nope. Somebody has to.
It's called a grenade launcher.
So I want to point out what ASP put in the chat here when he was talking about his deployment. All right, ASP, as pointed out by TJ District 4 Commander, which is his name in the Discord. that he was one of the original Wright brothers pusher-offers, and then he went to Vietnam as a, what is that kind of airplane? A ducky or something? I don't know. A Goonie bird. A Goonie. Yeah, he was in a Goonie bird in Vietnam. And he says, we had no TVs, cell phones, or any of that. Well,
oh, sure.
duh.
That's letter.
They had smoke signals.
It didn't exist. And then he
Puppet
said, we
shows,
communicated
apparently.
with family by snail mail only.
Yeah.
And
That's something that some of those letters get real important, man.
yeah, no kidding.
Mail call.
Okay, so you said that you were infantry the first 4 years?
Yeah, started infantry again. Hey, a little about me. So I went to ROTC out of Purdue University, and then I studied Russian language when I was in college, and I was like, oh, I'll just go be a linguist, or I'll work with linguists to do intel stuff. And of course, needs of the military. They went, hey, what do you think about infantry? And I go, nah, I'm not an outdoors guy. I have no desire to go infantry. And they go, well, guess what? You're going infantry. And, oh, we heard you don't like heights. Well, you're going airborne too. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So my first 4 years was a very long foray into the military experience. That said, I'm glad I did it that way, because I got the real deal Holyfield military experience, like flying in on Blackhawks and deploying. And I'm glad I did it. So, but golly, it was not the plan.
And then you feel better about the last bit. So I have a question for you then. What years did you go through?
ROTC was 94 to 98, and then infantry 98 to 02. So right during 9/11.
Yeah.
And then lastly 02 to 06 with intel stuff. So
Dang.
So yeah.
Dang. All right. So when's the last time you went to Fort Benning?
Ooh, Benning. Been a hot minute. I have been there for something within the last decade, but I mean, it's been a while.
That's where he lives.
Now Bragg, I went to Bragg a couple years ago. That was not nearly as like, I forgot why I went there, but I was there for something.
Born and raised in North Carolina, only lived outside of North Carolina for like maybe 30 years or 10 years of my 40 years, right? And honestly, like, not even kidding here, never been to Fort Bragg. Lived in North Carolina 30 years. Been in the veteran
if you
for, 10 or more.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, but it doesn't have any, you don't have any love for Fort Bragg. It'd be like some random base. It's like, okay, there's the
Fort
PX. Who cares?
Fort Benning, I do, because I served there. I was at Fort Benning. I was the only conventional force that they have. I was 3rd Brigade, 3rd ID off of Kelly Hill. But the reason I was asking you, not only to say, hey, Mr. Smanks here, and he lives there, as pointed out, like, but no, the cool thing I was going to ask you is if you've been in the infantry museum.
No.
All right.
I went to the armor museum. They have a.
Yeah, they do have an armor little thing.
Yeah.
You need to go to the infantry museum. And here's 2 reasons why I say that. 2 reasons. One, you're an infantry officer, and literally it is an homage to you and your blue cord. All right. Number 1, that's why you should go.
There you go. Who knows
Number
what's up?
2,
sorry, I heard blue cord in a while. I was like, oh yeah, right, blue cord.
Two other reason, or the second reason, because they have a GWAT memorial there, and it's like I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not one to necessarily speak upon this because it hurts, but I feel the Vietnam veterans who can't go to the wall. I had to force myself into that memorial.
Really?
Yeah. It's hard. I was over there with 2 soldiers who were involved in a rollover accident, and that's terrible. Their names are on the wall. there are probably I can't go through the whole list because I don't want to find the people that I directly serve with. But people that I do know that I'm familiar with that are on the wall, there are six people, on the wall. But the infantry museum has changed. When you were serving there, going through airborne school, going through infantry school, when you did that, and OCS is there too, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
So when you were going through any of that training, if you were to go to the infantry museum, it was like in like officer housing area. It looked like it was in an officer house. Like it was so weird. It was family day. I remember going through that thing. But then they came out with the infantry museum. Since I went to Korea, came back, and I remember them laying the Bradley inside of the building before they put the roof on it.
I could see that being a thing.
Yeah, and dude, I'm telling you, super awesome. They also have an area where
Hello?
Your mic went out.
My mic went out?
no, it was mine, I guess. I don't know.
No, I was just saying.
Thank you, I appreciate it. But at the infantry museum, they have an area where only Medal of Honor recipients that are infantry, Blue Cord Medal of Honor recipients. So that's pretty dope. So if somebody took on the role of infantry, right, or the MOS title of infantry, and they received a Medal of Honor, then they are in this museum as well in that specific area. But it follows the infantry from, you're talking the Revolutionary War all the way in, and every single thing. Dude, they have, oh, dude, I mean, just imagine what the infantry officers would want in a museum, multiply it by 10, and that is what you have. Like,
Well,
tons and tons and tons of great things. But you were saying you did 8 years in, and then you got out and you went into Stack Up, or what did you do after the military?
Got out of the military, then went over to DC as a contractor for 8 years.
Okay.
So I was in DC doing, bounced around to different 3-letter agencies in DC with intel stuff. So I spent a year at the FBI, 3 years at CIA, did 3 years at the Pentagon doing Iraq intel. But by the time I got to the CIA, which was my last duty assignment, I kind of was burned out, and I was not providing, like, I was getting run over by 22-year-olds at Georgetown who were just, I was doing a 9 to 5, and these kids were like 14-hour days and 7 days a week and taking it very seriously. And I was not. Like, I was like, I was the crusty old guy at that point. And I'm just like, hey, we need to, but so that was when I was more into the gaming side of things, as like doing charity work on the weekends. And I had found that I liked more of who I was, helping other people.
Right.
I was kind of sick of all the war and military stuff. And I was just like, you know what, this might be the way to go. So when layoffs ended up happening, it was 2012, and this thing called the sequestering happened.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, sequestering was government contracting. It takes the government because the government, they pretty much suck pretty bad at a lot of things. It takes them a long time to do anything. And so hiring on a government employee is like a 2-year process for the government. Like when I was trying to apply to the FBI as a field agent, it was like a 2-year process. Like it was ridiculous. And so when they have something they need to backfill, they will hire on a contractor, and it'll take them 3 weeks to bring on a contractor for whatever reason. I don't know why they don't use that for government employees, but what the hell ever. The downside of that is contractors are very, very expensive. And so I was making a lot of money in DC as an intel guy with a polygraph clearance and all that stuff. But the government employees hated that, and they hate having to spend twice as much on a guy just because they can bring him in quick. And so the sequestering, and they do this every now and again, where they're like, all right, that's it. We're not hiring any more contractors, no more all government employees, no more. So there was a great Order 66 culling of contractors where they're just like, everybody out. We're only using government employees for these jobs. And so I was and being a contractor, I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I'm going to leave and then I'll go get another job somewhere. Cause as a contractor, you just bounce around, you go from contract to contract. And I was at 4 different places in 8 years. So it was a pretty quick, like, I'll just go somewhere else. Who cares? That didn't happen. Like there were no jobs to be had. And I was out of work for like a year. So by the time, like, I was like, just put me in as a janitor. I don't care. I need a job. Like, I need something. Meanwhile, the whole time I'm working on my first charity, which was an organization called Operation Supply Drop, which was my first stab. It was Stack Up 1.0, I guess you could say. Because then Stack Up 2.0 is, the actual what you see now in our 10-year anniversaries this year with Stack Up and things like that. But it was just me sending out Xboxes and PlayStations to guys and gals overseas, and there was no greater like aspirations of becoming a mental health charity or anything crazy like that. So yeah, that's kind of how things started.
Did you have like a degree in business or?
No, Russian linguistics. Yeah, this was just
That's good.
Yeah, but you would have had.
You nailed it. That was perfect. You should go. Yeah, you clearly went to Monterey, sir.
That's right. I don't know
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is good.
Das ist gut.
Yes.
And now the joke is I could barely order a sandwich in Russian now, but it was over 20 years ago, so I'm just kind of like I'll hear it and I'll be like, that's Russian, but I can't do shit with it. I did not keep up with it. I'll do the Duolingo every now and again, and I go, nah, why am I doing this to myself? I'm too old to learn things. Yeah.
So what is stackup.org?
There we go. An hour in, we got there. Stack Up. Hey, everybody. We are a military charity. We support U.S. and allied veterans through gaming and geek culture. And what that means is, again, as I was saying, Dungeons and Dragons, Pokemon, video games, anything that guys and gals, recreational therapy is the thing that I have come to call it, and is a popular thing in the mental health space. But again, had no aspirations for any of that. I was just, as you were saying, like, oh, did you have a business degree? Did you have something for nonprofits? Like, no, I was just a dude. That's like, I just saw a gap in that was not being serviced, and I was like, I'll do it.
Nice.
Well, so the story was one of my guys in 2008 deployed forward to Afghanistan, and he was like, hey, they fucked the MWR facility. I know you have contacts in the games industry, which at the time I was being a fake game. I was a game blogger back in the day. I was like writing articles and shit. And I had contacts in the games industry. I'd gone to my first gaming convention, and I was like, okay, there's finding out that they're, going to like PAX East or PAX West, and E3 back then was like going to conventions weren't really a thing back when I started. It was like they were a thing, but it was not like, oh yeah, everybody, Comic-Con and all this stuff. Like I was not familiar with that world. Hell, I went to Fort Lewis I was at Lewis for 2 years. I did not know PAX East, Penny Arcade Expo, for those of you who don't know, is like one of the country's biggest gaming conventions. And it was in Seattle, and I had no idea it was happening at the time. So it was
PAX
like,
West.
okay. Yeah. So didn't know it was there.
Did you know that Magic the Gathering was like right in your back door?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm well aware now.
But did you know when you were stationed there?
No. Well, I also didn't play Magic. I didn't play Magic back then. There was a huge gap of time from 93. So I played from 93 to 97, and then I got out because it was getting too complicated, which is hysterical.
I remember I played fourth and fifth in Ice Age.
Yeah. There you go. And now I like a year ago, I got really, really hard into Magic. And so it's been like, I'm going to MagicCon here next month. And I fell real hard. But yeah. So that's shit. I lost the thread. Where were we going with that?
No, we were talking about
The start of
the
how
start
things
of
started.
yeah, and you would
But
take
So
Afghanistan.
I sent my buddy an Xbox. Like the 2008, there was still like the military was still a popular thing to support, whereas now not so much. But yeah, it's the hashtag never forget. Osama bin Laden was still out there causing problems, et cetera, et cetera.
Everybody
The
had
country was still
a yellow ribbon on their car.
the country was very jazzed about supporting the troops. And now here we are in 2026. It's like
Don't support
not so
the war,
much.
support the troops.
Now we're the bad guys. It's like, you government. Rah, rah, rah. It's like, all right, I can't argue with people are looking for somebody to be angry at. And so you tell them veterans, and they're just like, hey, why would we support the veterans? They did that to themselves. They joined up. They didn't have to. We struggle. But anyway, so as I was saying that, we got a lot of support at the beginning. We got pallets and pallets of donations sent in originally, like high quality stuff from developers. And so I boxed up a bunch of that stuff, sent it overseas. It was huge. Like the response we got back was great. But you get one Joe an Xbox, and then 41 Fires writes you an email and goes, well, hey, we could use an Xbox. And what about 296 Supply? Hey, we're here too. We get it. Can you send us one? And I still had more than enough stuff that was donated. My basement looked like a GameStop. So it was like, oh yeah, we'll figure something out. And so it turned into this whole thing where I was just like, yeah. And we kept getting donations in, and there was no money, but it was like, hey, there's something here. And here we are 15 years later, and Stack Up 1.0 after a little bit of a hiccup of losing my first charity at the 5-year mark. We're 10 years into Stack Up, and yeah, things have been great.
I myself am a recipient of a Stack Up. That's how I have my
Look
shirt.
at that.
Yeah,
I
received a PlayStation 5 from you, and I actually, I still have it, and I don't use it anymore. My wife uses it on the reg. However, it has gotten me back into gaming. It's got me back into focusing on not only helping myself with mental health, but I have helped with combat tested gaming and helping other veterans now. I'm a alumni of Wounded Warrior Project, and the emblem for them is that they have the fireman carry, right? And the idea behind their emblem is that, sometimes you need to be the one carried, and sometimes you need to be the one carrying, if you get what I'm saying. So
that's pretty good. I don't know. 15 years into this, I'm surprised I've never heard that before, but that's pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm really I'm really proud of my T-shirt here. I'm really proud of being able to say that I was a Stack Up recipient, and I cannot not spread your nonprofit. I love it. I love the mission. I'm just grateful. I'm blown away that that was even an option for me.
When did you get your box?
I didn't even know it was an option.
You couldn't find a PlayStation. I'll tell you that. And like literally, you couldn't just go to the store and buy a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
So about a year or two.
It was like
that,
right
2 or 3
after
years
COVID.
you couldn't buy one?
Yeah. It was like 2 years.
Because everybody was building supercomputers out of them or trying to or something.
No,
well, that was back in cryptocurrency shit, where it was like all the graphics hardware was getting snapped up by these crypto farming
right.
crypto farms. There you go.
With the PlayStation though, I think with that there were a lot of like resales. A lot of people were going in, seeing Walmart had 3, buying all 3 of them for
scalping them,
whatever, exactly, and selling them paying $400 for the PlayStation, turn around and selling it for $1,000 on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, the scalpers have made our life pretty difficult because we no longer, again, the world has changed from when we started doing this, where it was like, yeah, you just go to Best Buy and you buy 20 PlayStations. And now it's, you buy 2 and they look at you like, what are you going to do with these? Like our people have been squeezed whenever we go into like a GameStop or something. Like, hey, what are you doing?
You got a
Like,
micro center near you?
No, we don't know. There's one in Irvine. I keep hearing
If you
the
ever
word
go,
micro center.
if you ever go into it, well, it's the fucking best store ever.
It's the place to have a nerdgasm.
Yes, like literally, if Best Buy and Radio Shack had a baby, boom.
Yeah, I've heard good things. It's just one of those things where I'm like,
But with Micro Center, like holy crap, I cannot believe that you haven't gone in there.
It's an hour away, so I'm not gonna. It's like there's plenty of nerd stores around me, but yes, I have not made that. There's another store out here called Frankensons, which is like a weekly nerd bazaar of like it's like a Comic-Con that happens, but it's a store. That's what people have told me, but it's in Irvine, so it's like I'll get there eventually. And they have very weird hours, but yeah, it's like someday I'll trundle up my ass over there. But
Commando says it's equivalent of fries.
Fries, fries is gone too now. That's
he's saying it's gone. What?
Yeah, the fries over in Burbank, for the longest time. So they had this UFO as a part of their sign, but it was like by the time I found it, it was closed, and then they finally closed it down and tore down the building. But yeah, there's no fries here anymore.
So the reason I was asking about the Micro Center is I've been carded every single time that I go in to purchase. Like, I don't get carded for alcohol, but I get carded for GPUs. Like,
yeah, oh yeah,
it's like,
they get real squirrely nowadays. Like, what you want to do with these? Like, what do you fucking care? My money's green. Just take the money. Like,
you get carded for a GPU.
You do. Okay, maybe because it's a 5070 Ti, but literally, like, we're gonna it was like we have to see your ID before I can.
We gotta do a background check before you get a.
Well, I mean, look, I understand they got to do something. I appreciate them trying to fight scalpers, but also it's like one of these, like, hey, here's my paperwork. I'm running a charity here. Is there something we can do to work this out? Because back in the day, Best Buy would give us they would honor our tax ID, and they would not charge us tax. And then that went away. And now it's like, we have to send people out in this weird scavenger hunt. Like, all right, you go buy 4 in Burbank and I'll head up to Van Nuys and we'll get 3 there maybe. And it's like, why does it have to be so? Because you can buy a couple from Amazon, but then they get a little testy after a while. It turns into this, like, we'll see how many you can get away with, and then we'll go from there. And it's like, this is not how this should be. I should have a point of contact at retail store to buy 30 or 40 Xboxes in a clip. But they just raised the prices on PlayStations here last Friday. So it was like,
wow.
And we're at the end of the PlayStation life cycle. This is the first time in gaming history where a 6-year-old gaming console costs more than it did on launch. It's like, what are we doing, guys? But that's just where we're at in the country. So,
yeah, and well, we got Commando in the side chat also saying it's because of the prohibitions on the NVIDIA chips to China. Yeah, well, honestly, if the Chinese could make a 5070 Ti or something from Temu, bro, and it's like $50, I'm gonna have 2 of them. If it's $50 for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's. I mean, love or hate China, boy. It's like, well, this is the option. Can I get it? Yeah, all right. They're selling it for a reasonable price. It's like,
well, the problem, like, honestly, the problem is that the manufacturers over here, they sent their stuff to get manufactured there, and guess what?
Yep.
I can make this over here and make money on it.
Yeah. That's it. They don't need us anymore. They just. I was talking with a guy at PAX East. And he lived in Shanghai for a while. And he's like, they are not a creative people, the Chinese, but they know how to reverse engineer real good. And he's like, when we were over there, we were constantly losing to them because they were just like, they don't have the inventive spirit, but boy, howdy, they'll take your thing and they'll, cut it apart and they'll make it better. And it's like, oh, okay, well, there you go. So yes, Temu is the way to go,
Unfortunately, I don't know about better, but unfortunately, I feel like that's a burden that we're going to end up having to. I mean, I love U.S. manufacturing. I love supporting it, but when you literally can't find anything American, it's hard to support it.
That's it.
Now, what is Stack Up? Is Stack Up doing anything about the new Steam Deck going to come out?
Yeah. Well, we're kind of at the point now where it's like, okay, for the price of an Xbox or a PlayStation, we could just buy a Steam Deck. So we have been considering, because they also are not selling in bulk. So it's like, yeah, you can go to a Best Buy and get a ROG Asus for, $500. It's like, well, all right, they're pricing themselves out of the model right now. So it's like, but we don't have any other options. It's like we're running out of things to send overseas. Fortunately, Nintendo, the Switch is still the best deal on the market. It's not, it's not the best, but it's getting the job done. And, so a lot of our stuff's going over as Switches, which kind of a bummer because I'm not much of a Nintendo guy, but guys are happy with it. So it's like, okay, well,
it's something to do other than twiddle your thumbs. So yeah,
that's what I'm saying. No one's complaining. No one's like, oh, we've only had a couple of people like, can you get like PlayStation 5 is obviously the ask, but it's like, hey, we can't get you that. It's like, all right, well, a Switch will be fine, and then get a bunch of games, and then it's fine. It all works out. Nobody complains about it.
Have you thought about getting into doing? I mean, you had mentioned Dungeons and Dragons and all that stuff. Have you thought about getting into like tabletop simulator and stuff like that with the veterans?
Well, yeah. So our Discord, like we have game nights and things like that, and I actually play Magic using tabletop sim sometimes, not just spell table, but yeah, they did a great job. Whichever maniac is running the show on tabletop sim, they keep it pretty updated. So anytime there's a new season, a new set that comes out, they've got it on tabletop sim within a couple of days. So they're pretty good at that stuff. So yeah, it's we've had to shift. Like it's not just PlayStations. It's like if we get requests too, if somebody's like, hey, we're like looking for board games or we're looking for this or that and the other thing, like we'll try to support as best we can if we have access to it. So
okay, so who's eligible to receive this? Is it just troops overseas?
Yeah, it's anybody who served. I think that the concern here at this point is, back when I first started doing this, it was like I had a thing at the end of the year called 100 Heroes, where I would specifically use that time to catch up with all the requests we had received and like wipe the slate for a new year. And now we're getting like 2,000 requests a year, and we're sending out about 250 supply crates a year. So it's like there's this, people are putting in requests thinking we're Amazon. They're like, they'll write back a month later, like, hey, where's my PlayStation? It's like, bro, you just put in for one. B, we're like 9 months behind. So, if for deployments, there is a long wait, and you asking every 6 days is not going to make it go any faster. As a matter of fact, you piss us off enough, we're probably just going to remove you from the list. Like, hey, sorry, you're clearly going to be a problem. So, but we've had to get creative because it's to the point where someone will put in for a request while they're deployed, and we won't get to it until they're back. So it's like, okay, we got to come up with a better way for deployed units as far as like, hey, are you going to be here for a while? We're going to try to get you earlier. If we support tip of the spear, first and foremost, like guys that are like, hey, we're in the Sudan. It's like 12 of us in a team house and we ain't got shit. And it's like, all right, we're going to focus on that first. But
absolutely,
yeah, these folks that are back home, they're just like, well, my Switch broke. I needed another one. And, it's like, all right, we'll get to you, but it's going to be a while. You are not highest priority here. So we try to work with a lot of like units and organizations like the VA will they'll ask for stuff. VFW, American Legion, all kinds of.
Gave a PlayStation to Post 6018.
There you go.
And that is the person who put it in was the post commander at the time, and he received it about 6 months later, like myself. And so my advice was good to him. And literally, the VFW post is using the PlayStation now, and he is the department commander right now for North Carolina. As
Very
Commander
nice.
Ed
Glad,
Beard.
glad we were able to hook them up. I mean, there's no guarantee. We're not out there, trying to farm clout. Like, oh, he might be the commander someday. Let's go ahead and get him a PlayStation. It
You
was
had
just
no
like,
idea?
yeah, all right. They requested, that happened, and that's the nice thing about VFW and American Legion and all these organizations that are just like run by the Vietnam and Korea era veterans who don't get the gaming conversation, and now it's us who are in, and we're the ones kind of like slowly coming up through the ranks and starting to take over as adjutants and commanders places. And it's like, oh no, I know gaming. So we don't have to, but you're still on with a board or an executive team of guys that are just like, oh, what's this video game shit? It's like,
Well,
oh,
they've
God damn it.
gotten with combat tested gaming. You're not going to believe this, but they have like boot to ass a lot of these department commanders to get on board with this national program.
They have to. I mean, it's one of
literally.
those things. Like, I mean, the organizations are going to die out because you need something to re-energize. Trying to get guys out of their house to go to a VFW post or American Legion post or something like that, and we're all online. We're all playing video games together. It's like, I understand the pushback from leadership, and I understand because I tried to put myself in their position, and I'd be like, hey, Stack Up is going to die. Like some 20-year-old contractor we bring in, like, hey, we need to, light the fire under the organization. How do we energize things? And if they said, all right, you know what you need to do? You specifically need to start up a TikTok and start doing TikTok dances, and that will save your organization. I'd be like, I'm not doing that. So that's the level of pushback we're getting from the older generation guys. Like, this is how it's been. I'm too old to give a shit. I'm sorry that the organization is dying, but it was for us at this time. And this new generation is just going to have to figure it out. But I don't want any part of it like that. So, but they can't argue with the numbers. I mean, I don't know how big, so I'm also with the American Legion, and they have a Discord channel with 10,000 people in it now. And it's like, you put that in front of anybody and you're telling, at national, where they're just like, yep, another year of down, membership and recruitments are down across the board, and we're 25%. And it's like, well, look at this thing. It's working. It can't just be baseball and Boy Scouts anymore. You got to get with the times, and this is it. So we just happen to have our hobby just happens to be the thing that's taken over the world. But, what do I know, right? So
when you were deployed, did you find any relief from video games or anything like that?
Oh yeah. When so my big thing is I was in a suicide bombing on June 11th of 2004. And my birthday was June 9th. And so when I got back, it was a failed suicide bombing. It did not work. The guy threw a bunch of the funny story is the guy who attacked the convoy was known, and again, this might have been all bullshit, but he was a mentally challenged individual who the local insurgents were like, we don't want to work with this guy. And so he took it upon himself to go raid a local, just like a ammo dump, and got a bunch of mortar rounds and just threw them in the backseat of his car, and a bunch of explosives and things like that. But it was not a well-planned attack. And dude just took his little vehicle and drove it into one of our strikers and thought that was going to do anything, and killed himself, obviously. But I mean, it was just one of those, what just happened? We did not know what we were looking at when we saw it. It was like, what the fuck? So yeah, but I tell you, that story is literally, I got back in from that patrol and jumped on the internet that we had and ordered a $5,000 Alienware laptop and had them send it to where I was at, because I didn't give a fuck then. I was like, oh, fuck it, we could die tomorrow. People were, the guys over there buying Harleys and Ford F-150 trucks with their deployment money. You know how they were tricking people into that shit? I was I was in that mindset. I'm like, fuck it. I'm buying this thing. It's going to make me happy. I don't care. Oh, it has an optical reader. I don't know. Or just every bell and whistle you could put on that thing. I'm like, do me up, bro. I don't care. So, so yeah, I took there's a picture of me deploying, and it's, I don't want to say famous, but it's one of those ones that I show off pretty regularly. It's me sitting on an ammo crate that's getting ready to get. We're 6 hours from deploying to Iraq, and I'm sitting on this thing and I'm leaned forward, and they took a picture. And this is before everybody had fucking iPhones and you could just take hundreds and hundreds of pictures and video everything. And it's a picture of me sitting on this thing, and I'm leaned forward in the upper left breast pocket where it's of the ACUs, like Velcro. You can see there's a square for a Nintendo DS unit. Just, you could see it. It's clearly, it can only be one thing. Like you see it and you're like, oh, and that was my DS with Final Fantasy Tactics in it. So, I mean, that really and that picture kind of is like, hey, if you need to know who I am as a human being, that's it right there. My life is about gaming and playing video games. And whenever I'm not working, I am trying to squeeze video games in there in some capacity. So
I'm glad to hear that you got back into streaming. Like that is awesome.
Well, it turned into this weird thing. Like I wasn't planning on it. It just kind of turned into this. Well, everybody kind of does it now, but it's almost like having office hours for me, because the guy, kind of like what you guys have here. It's like you're doing this podcast. You just have people just hanging out. Streaming is like that, where it's just like I'll just be playing a game, or I'll be sending out emails or something like that. And it's about, hey, if somebody wants to come in and talk, or somebody's like having a bad day, it just gives them a spot to just come in and bullshit. And, you know, you never know what kind of you're going to run into. Like I'm busy getting sweaty in marathon or something this weekend. Somebody's like, oh, you know, I had a bad day. Oh, okay. Hold on a sec. You know, I'm trying to stay alive in the game. And it's like trying to have a serious conversation with somebody. But, you know, if it gets serious, I can pull off to the side of the road and be like, all right, Slugger, what's going on? Okay, let's talk. So, but it allows me the opportunity to be available for the community. If somebody has something they want to talk about, or they just want to hang out with me. And, you know, it's worked out in a way that it's almost, my streaming is almost kind of work related at this point, where it's part, and yeah, I'm enjoying myself, but I also, all the money I've raised on stream goes back. I just donate it right back to the charity. So anybody that, you know, subs or, you know, ad revenue or all that, and we're already up $2,000 for the year. So it's like, all right, this is a great way to raise money for the charity. Not the plan, but here we are.
Right.
Yet again, another thing that was just like, oh, I didn't plan on this, but it's working. So keep it up.
That's right. And you see, it's great that you're seeing, it still seems like you're receiving support, even though it's not the hottest thing right now as far as trying to support veterans. It still seems like you're receiving some support, right?
Somewhat. I mean, we haven't gotten a console donated to us by, you know, the big three since before COVID. So we're buying a lot of the stuff just outright, which sucks. You know, I miss those days, just being able to get like pallets of gaming consoles and stuff. But fortunately, again, I just came back from Boston for PAX East last week, and, you know, people, God bless the folks that get it. You know, they're the folks who in this administration, like anything government, even anywhere near government, it's just people are like, oh, this sucks. Hey, we hate it. But then there's still a population out there that believes in our mission, that has, and they're generally folks that either served themselves or they have a family member or friend who served. And those folks like are just like, yeah, of course you support the military. And it's like, oh, thank God. Like, and those are getting harder and harder to find. So God bless those folks. But we're working with Gearbox and Bungie and these big studios that, you know, do not have to be working with us right now. And Gearbox is a perfect example because they have been fantastic with the launch of Borderlands 4. They did a art print for us. And the proceeds for the art print, which we're still waiting on, like they're still working on the details, but the launch did not go as well as they were hoping as it would. The game went great. Like they sold over 1 million copies. They're doing fine. But the art print thing did not go the way they wanted it to. And usually that's the end of the conversation. Like we're accustomed to as a charity, it's like a lot of studios do the charity. They do, I don't say bare minimum, but it's like, if things don't work out, oh, well, tough shit. Here's your check and we'll get them next time.
Right.
But Gearbox, things did not go the way they wanted it to. And instead of just cutting us a check for $10,000 and going, all right, sorry, we'll see you in 6 years when Borderlands 5 comes out or something. They're like, no, we're going to make this right. Like this did not go the way we wanted it to. We're going to do this. And they at PAX East, they had a panel. They had a panel on the main stage, and the first thing that they talked about was this art print. And hey, we're reintroducing this thing, and it's so big. Shout out to Gearbox and those folks for going the extra mile, not just phoning it in and be like, well, we tried to do charity work and whatever. It's
Right.
like, no, we're doing this right, and so that we are so not accustomed to that level of doing charity work. Because again, charity work is something you do when it's just not a lot of people do it. I mean, they're getting the credit for doing charity work, and that's a lot of people. Like that's a lot of people. What they okay, I'm getting credit for it. I did the thing, and it didn't raise as much, but who cares? Like we helped. It's like no, we really want to help. It's like okay, well, thank you very much. So God bless folks like that out there. That's just like no, we're serious about helping you guys, and that's hard to find, man.
Very hard to find, and it sucks that it's not people trying to help like even more. It'd be great if like Steam had come on and be like, "Oh, you need how much?" You know?
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
But I don't think that's going to happen. Steam is
it's one of the things I've learned. And people ask me like, "What's one of the biggest takeaways?" Is like the distance between how much America talks about loving the troops and how much they actually do to support the troops is fucking wildly different. Because it's very easy to say, hey, thank you for your service and that kind of thing. It's the old joke. But like it's only getting worse. And it's understandable because who's got anything to support anybody else right now? Everybody's working 2 jobs and driving Uber, and mom needs a hip replacement. So let's go on GoFundMe because she doesn't have insurance. It's just like, or even if she does have insurance, it's still tens of thousands of dollars. It's just nobody's got money to give to the troops unless it's your troop, unless it's like, hey, I'm gonna help my family, or I'm gonna help my friend, or this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, so our donations are just down across the board. But so God bless anybody who's out there going the extra mile to try to help out, because it's getting rough out there, and we recognize that. And running a charity in 2026 is a tough fucking endeavor.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, I do want to go ahead and try to wrap this up a little bit. So I do appreciate you coming on. That was this is an awesome conversation. I'm glad we got to have it, Mr.
Yeah.
Spank. You
sorry it took 2 times to get it done.
Too quiet. Well, you know what? We've been recording for an hour and a half or so, hour and 23 minutes.
And I was giving you shit at the beginning, like, how long does this go for? And I was like, this is gonna take a while. And now it's over already. It's like, oh, what the fuck?
It really doesn't take all that long.
No,
it doesn't
quick.
seem like it because we
have.
have a good conversation, And I'm glad we got to give a shout out to Stack Up. I'm glad I was a recipient of Stack Up. Smank, would you go over our sponsors and all that?
Our sponsors are the VFW Foundation, PC Race Shop. Our sponsors are special shout out and thanks to Ranger Up Coffee, Omnic AI, Helium, G Fuel, Streamlabs, Ultra, Alexander PCs, Cootie Coffee. Anything else other than God bless those who are out there or fixing to go out and do something.
Yep. And if you don't mind, can we add Stack Up to that list? And no monetary, just give you a shout out every time we get on the podcast. That's basically.
I wouldn't hate it.
You're helping veterans, and I think that's really important. Like you said, anybody that's willing to help out veterans, thank you. So I want that VFW statement, no one does more for veterans, to remain active. So every podcast you can imagine, we're going to give a shout out to stackup.org. So
yes,
there you go, brother. And going forward, it'll be added. So I do appreciate you coming in, taking the time out of your day, early morning Mondays. I hate fucking Mondays. I don't know why we do a podcast on Mondays.
I was gonna say, hey, it's like
you suggested it.
No.
Say, it's like, you don't need to do it.
No. I didn't suggest it. It's just how the schedule lined up. My suggestion was Monday and Friday, doing like a 30-minute to an hour-long episode, and we decided no, we're just going to consolidate it down to Mondays, and then we're giving it a week for post-production.
That's fair.
But this is live on Twitch, on Kick, on YouTube, and you can find us everywhere. After that, every post during post production, we use RSS, and it's everywhere. So I do appreciate it. I'm sorry about jacking the episode up again. Maybe we'll get Mission Commander, our producer, to start producing these a little sooner than later. Because I am a talk show person, not the. I'm all right, but I'm not the best. And we've been having audio problems, and I mean, it's just been a freaking nightmare. But I do apologize, and I do appreciate those who are listening. Thank you again, Shanghai.